Everything's still awesome, even in a apocalypse, even in a wasteland. And that word is hard to make out. The Lego Movie, the second part, the proper follow-up to the Lego Movie. And the critics aren't kidding. This really is better than the first one. It continues the story right where it left off. It forwards everyone's story arc. The characters have grown, and honestly, the self awareness of this film is just the perfect icing on a cake of plastic building blocks that have been brought to life by stop motion, basically. The cast, awesome. Chris Pratt as the hero, never a bad decision. Nor was he to make him, well, let's just say spoilers. So I'm not going to say much more. The rest of the cast, great. Will Arnett, I believe his name is, played Batman. And honestly, I thought it was the guy who voiced Batman in Batman the Brave and the Bold. Because he did a bang up impression. Liz Banks as Lucy, aka Wild Stallion, Wild Child, whatever. The brunette with the day-glow streaks. She was good. Unikitty, who I believe was voiced by Brie Anderson. So awesome, so underused, and let's see, what else? Oh, a few surprises in the cast. I don't want to reveal it. Can't talk today. But let's just say there were definitely a few surprises. The story, it sort of is an allegory for what some siblings go through when it comes to interaction. And it kind of hit home, even though technically I never had to deal with that sort of thing. Not because I didn't have siblings, it's just they all grew up and moved out before I was even born. So, there you go. Um, the the way the story progressed, it was organic, and there was a twist at the end that I wasn't sure of. Some of the voice acting was sort of a clue, but I thought it was just because they were using actors for multiple voice roles. Turns out, nope, there was a legitimate twist. And they sort of tied up a couple of plot holes here and there, at least when it comes to certain aspects of the later plot. And let's talk about the self referential humor. There was so much of it. So much imagery and verbal references. The humor itself was very juvenile and very adult, both in an awesome way. And this movie just accepted that it was self aware. It accepted that it was poking fun at modern pop culture, laughing in its face. Even the music, which was pop culture drivel that was meant to be mocked. If you are a snarky critic, you are going to have so much fun with this movie. If you're a kid, you will enjoy this movie. Pretty much anyone who likes movies in general is going to like this movie. Especially if you're a hound for effects, because the effects in this film were perfect. I mean, It looked like stop motion, better than the original, and it even used a bit of live model work in places. And there were even parts where I couldn't tell what was live action and what was CG. And I just can't stop gushing about this film. This is a sequel that surpasses the original, and I'm okay with that because that's what sequels should do. Not be worse than the previous film, but be better. This is going to be a hard nut to crack. Wait, that was wrong. This is going to be a hard film to beat in the awards eventually. But I'm thinking the only movie that will surpass this one will be the third How to Train Your Dragon movie. This is Mr. J signing out. I'm reminding you, Legos have never, ever not been awesome.
Everything is awesome! And you're all getting motion sick!
Goodbye.